Hey, everybody, welcome to another Sermon Prep podcast. This is Pastor Dan from St. Mark's United Methodist Church, here today with Director of Outreach and Lady of Many Other Hats, Kellie Bibler.
Hello, wearing all of the hats today.
Wearing all of the hats today. We are coming into our third week on the book of James, and we're talking this coming week about there's this passage in James that I think it's really kind of defines a lot of who he is and is kind of a hallmark of the way James thinks about his faith is he says faith without works is dead. That's our memory verse for this coming week. And
Spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert if you're already listening. If you come in to church and you say that, you're definitely getting some Smarties.
Maybe some extra church points.
Maybe extra church points. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I give those out freely. I don't withhold those from people.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Church points for all.
Brian Buckley, Brian, if you're listening, he came up with a sheet of what you can redeem your church points for.
That's fantastic.
It was really funny. And it was like so many church points, and you get to like pick the next sermon series, and then one like you get to have real wine with communion and like all these other things. Like it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Brian, if you're listening, shout out to you. That was tremendous.
Well done, Brian.
But so James says faith without works is dead, and he says that you say that you have faith. I show you my faith by what I do, and I think it's a part of So we're gonna talk about that. It's something I think Christians have struggled with over the years. This idea of trying to earn your faith, and it's not that we're saying you earn your faith. You're not earning God's approval by doing all these good things. It's that because of my faith, it has so transformed my heart and my life, I can't help but live the way Jesus has called me to live. And by the way, if I say that I believe in Jesus, but then I don't act in such a way that it looks like I even know who Jesus is, then my faith is meaningless. It hasn't affected my life in any way. So he's just kind of talking about like the evidence of your faith is what you do. And so Kellie, one of the reasons I thought it'd be really good to have you here today to talk about this is you really help us to look at all of the different ways in which we can live out our faith here in this church community, how the ways that we put our faith into action. And so I wanted us to just talk about, I thought it'd be fun today to just talk about all of the things that we do. So to start off with, why don't you talk a little bit about just what moving the needle is and where that came from?
Sure. So as director of outreach, my job is to kind of find ways that we can connect with the needs in our community or people in our community who need to be served in some way, shape, or form. Goes along with what you were just saying about what James is telling us. So about maybe a year, maybe not even a year ago, we started talking about moving the needle. And moving the needle is basically our way of saying, how are we making a measurable difference in the community that we live? So that means that the things that we are doing are positively enhancing the lives and helping to lessen the burden of the people in need in our community. So everything that we do should be in some way moving that needle towards making it better and eliminating or at least helping to lessen things like food insecurity or homelessness or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when we were starting to talk about it, like this has been something I've thought about for years and years and years because every year I have to do what's called charge conference paperwork, which is where I have to fill in all of the different details about, and actually, let's be honest, I usually have somebody fill those papers out for me. I don't do very much work at all, but
only on Sundays.
Yeah, only on Sundays. But it's the way in which we seem to like measure how well our church is doing, and it's how many people are here on Sunday, what's your giving look like, how many members do you have, that sort of thing. And those numbers are fine. Obviously we want people here and giving and all those kind of things, but I've always struggled with what's the measure of the success of a church, and I don't think those things accurately measure the success of a church. To me, if we're really changing lives, there should be a measurable impact, not just in us, but in the people around us. So what if one of the ways that you measure church success is the suicide rate going down in your community? Are there fewer people who are hungry? Are children, is education improving in your community? Like I, I dare to think that that is that is on the church. Like that's a part
Yeah.
of who we're supposed to be. We are supposed to so impact the community around us that there's a measurable, noticeable change.
Well, I think one of the things that makes us what you might call a healthy congregation is because we don't just show up here on the Sundays. We do the work between the Sundays outside of the walls of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that our congregation really wants to do. It's not you and I saying, go do this. It's the things that we came up with that we wanted to focus on through Move the Needle were the things that the members of the congregation said, here's where I want you to focus on.
Yeah, that was such a fun Sunday
That
of
was
doing
great.
that. Like you said, here's all the things we think. Well, it's not just what we think; it's all the things we kind of studied, looked at what the health department, other different agencies in town, the community foundation, others who said, here's the needs we are noticing in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took all the things that our community has said, here's our needs, and we said, all right, well, where do we feel like God is moving us and pushing us? And so we got those results. We got those results live as we are kind of texting them during church, which was really fun. And so our top three were, and then we'll kind of talk about what we've been doing in these, and then what we're doing kind of going forward. But top three were food insecurity,
Yes.
physical and mental health,
Yes.
and education.
Yes.
Those were the things that our church said, that our community said, these are needs of ours, and our church said, we feel like maybe this is where God's pushing us right now. So food insecurity, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing as far as, as people who are followers of Jesus, who are saying, all right, go send us. What are we doing for people in food insecurity at St. Mark's?
So, I mean, the great thing was we were already doing something anyway with the Give a Crock program.
Mm-hmm.
So, and honestly, I love how that came to be because there was a member of our community who got a grant. I wanted to start it, and she knew that our church were people who did things in our community already.
Barb Lockhart,
so
who
Bob Lockhart,
has since passed away, such a sweet woman. And yeah, I'll never forget her just saying, "Hey, I need to come talk to you." And I'm like,
she wasn't a member of our church. She wasn't affiliated with us. She just knew that we did things to have an impact in our community. So she came to us. So we've been doing Give a Crock for, I don't know, a couple years, I feel like maybe. And what's great about that is that we're empowering people to do things for themselves by just giving them a little help. So we provided everyone in the program with a crock pot, and then every month we give them the ingredients to make a meal in the crock pot. So we know at least they're doing one meal a month in the crock pot. But our hope is that they're able to use it for other things and, feed their families and help balance things that they have going in their life by, if things are crazy, at least they can throw a meal in the crock pot and come home and have a hot meal.
I'm throwing a meal in the crock pot today for our family because life is crazy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's what they get.
So the great thing about that was that program was already going. So I think in the past few months, we've served 28 people in the program.
And people from our church, the way that they are able to help is we give them the list of ingredients every month. And then there's some that help pack the bags. There's some that can help deliver the meals. So lots of different ways that you can help in it.
Yeah. And you'll see that throughout. We talk about the things that we do. So food insecurity we knew was a big one. It was the number one thing we wanted to do. So we formed a food insecurity team. So we asked members of the congregation who is passionate about this because it's fun to hear what other people what ideas other people have and things that other people have done. So always good to partner.
Yeah.
So we started, along with Give a Crock, we've started to fill little free pantries. So that's something we started this month that we're going to be doing. So we say, hey, please bring in these items. And so members of the congregation, all you got to do is grocery shop, right? Bring them in. And then we have a team here that's going to be sorting them, and then we'll deliver them to the little free pantries around, because we know that there's a lot of people who use those little free pantries and they get used. I mean, they run out quickly.
Yeah. Yep. So that's a great way to be able to do that. And we, of course, also we have Daryl the Barrel in the lobby, so
Yes,
you
we've been
can
doing
also
that.
give towards city mission for that.
Yes, yeah.
And
So what are different ways that we can help with food insecurity? So we're trying to hit many different avenues. And another thing that we do is we partner with Bigelow Hill School.
mm-hmm,
So we help to provide a Thanksgiving meal for the kids and their families. So we
mm-hmm,
cook like 12, 15 turkeys and show up and help
mm-hmm.
serve and help the teachers there provide
Yeah,
that nice
that's such
Thanksgiving
a
meal.
fun night.
Yeah, it's great. You just see their faces and how excited they are and how fun and how appreciative they are.
Yeah, and in the dock, like everybody brings the turkeys to the dock first.
Oh,
The dock smells like turkey for a week, and
oh,
it's great.
yeah.
And also with Bigelow Hill, we do the over. Is it over that Thanksgiving break
Yes, Thanksgiving break.
that we
So,
fill up some grocery bags and send some food home with them over the
yeah, because a lot of kids don't get
yeah
the nutrition over break. They just don't have things in their house, or there's a lot more mouths to feed.
yeah
So we give them a nice, reusable grocery bag full of food that they can eat those few days that they're off from
yeah
school. So just trying to hit lots of different ways that we can help, and that's just food insecurity,
yeah
and we're not done. We're
yeah.
still looking for ways that we can impact
Yeah,
the
and I
hungry.
imagine that's going to continue to grow. I mean that's going to always be a need in our community. And there's a lot of different ways that people are getting food out in the community. This is just kind of how we've seen a way that
Hmm.
Jesus said, "I was hungry and you gave me something to eat." Like this is a part of what we're supposed to do as followers of Jesus is to help feed the hungry. So
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense that was our number one thing when we asked people. So
And we know that being hungry affects and impacts so many other parts of
oh,
your life. So,
absolutely.
if we can get to the root cause and help feed people, that'll help
Yeah.
them be more successful
Yeah, I mean,
in a lot of
when a
ways.
kid's at school, they don't learn well on an empty stomach,
Mm-mm.
and all the different places where that can impact your health
Mm-hmm.
and your mental well being, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So that was food insecurity. The next was physical and mental health, and physical health. I think is one of the first things that we did something out of all of this. We did a heart health screening.
We did. We partnered
Yeah.
with the health department, and they came here and set up in one of our conference rooms and helped people with like blood glucose and heart and blood pressure and all cholesterol and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So, maybe people don't get to the doctor on a regular basis, or maybe they just need it checked in between visits. So we were able to provide that. And I know my husband and I did it, and we learned a little bit about our health, and
Hmm.
we were able to take that to our medical
Yeah,
provider.
full disclosure, I did it, and they did not love my results, and part of it came out it was maybe stress related.
You,
I
you,
should not take my blood pressure on a Sunday morning just before
no.
I go preach. That was
I
probably
mean,
a bad
you
idea.
had some problems.
We
You had
got it
some
all taken
problems.
care of.
It's good.
It
You're
was a
good
great
now.
thing. It
You're
was
good
a great
now. Yeah.
all good,
Yeah.
all good. So as far as physical health, we do that. We've got Red Cross blood drives that we do
Yes.
here,
Yes.
and that's something that we'd already been doing for a while, but continuing that partnership, Lifeline Health screenings, doing that here, and looking for other ways to be able to continue to do things with that. So that was physical health. Mental health,
Mental health, we're rock and roll with mental
we're
health.
rock and roll. This
We are.
this next month's going to be we had a meeting just before this and talked about like why did we have everything launch in this September? Like why did we do this to ourselves?
Because
But
why
here we
not?
are. So the Make It Awkward campaign, which is a suicide awareness campaign that we're doing
Yes.
this fall with Hancock County Suicide Prevention Task Force. I'm a member of that, and we kind of said, well, what would it look like for us to partner to do a big outreach in this? So
Yeah, so we are super excited about this program because we really hope that the community will rally around it, and all of us will support it. But it's basically having those awkward conversations and checking on your friends and making sure they're okay,
yeah,
because we know that suicide is a problem in our community and many communities around us, and there certainly are some segments of our community that are more susceptible to it than others. But no matter what, people they need you to check on them. They need you to
mhm,
ask if they're okay. Even the people who seem to have it all together, you want to ask them if they're okay too. So this campaign is built around that and making it awkward and saying, "Hey, here's a puppy. Are you okay? So
Not really giving somebody a puppy, but there's a video. You'll see.
we're not really, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just kind of
So
teasing.
so there's gonna be videos. We're gonna announce. I think we're gonna announce this coming Sunday. So I'm not gonna give you the spoiler on here. You will have to come to church or watch the service. But we're gonna be doing a sermon series in September around mental health called "Let's Talk About It." We're going to talk about anxiety and depression, and then the third week we've got a really special guest who's going to be coming. We'll announce that.
Stay tuned. Don't say
Sunday.
anymore.
All right, I'm not going to say anymore because
Okay.
it's something will come out.
It's so cool.
It's
So cool. And for those of you that grew up in 80s, 90s Christian music,
You're going to give it away.
I'm not giving it
All right,
away,
gonna
but
give
I'm
it away.
saying that you'll love it.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a good time. We're going to do some community events around it.
Oh, I'm excited for us to be out in the community. We're partnering with schools, county schools, Findlay City schools. We're going to be at the fair, out in our community. So look for us around, Make It Awkward.
And Make It Awkward. I don't know if we said what it is, but it's basically, maybe you said what it is. Like, have the awkward conversation if you're worried about someone. You don't have to wait for this campaign to do that. Like, if you're worried about someone, have the conversation. And got a website, makeitawkward.org, that we're going to be pushing people to, and really want to be able to help people with all of these things.
So when you see Dan and I out in the community, just come up and start talking to us and tell us that you want to make it awkward.
You're ready to make it awkward. That's right.
Let's go. We're excited about that.
So that's mental health.
Yes.
All right. And then education.
Yes.
We're launching another thing.
We're so excited about this too. It's called Pages and Pals. So we partnered with the YMCA, Findlay City Schools, Children's Mentoring Connection. And then we have Elsa Schrader from our church here is kind of heading it up. Yeah. And she is a former educator. So this is her wheelhouse and she knows. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what Pages and Pals is.
It's going to be this kind of came from like, what if one of our things is, what if reading scores go up in schools? Like, well, how is that? How does the church get involved in that? Well, a lot of it has to do with just like developing a love of reading in kids. And so kids who are coming already to the Early Learning Center at the YMCA are going to have an opportunity to have a one-on-one interaction with a volunteer. The volunteers, we were going to put it out to the whole community, but wanted to start with the church. Our church already filled up all the volunteer slots because you guys are awesome. And we're going to be doing a one-on-one after-school opportunity for kids to come and sit and read a book with an adult, and then do a little activity around it, and then they get to take the book home with them, and that's their book now. It's all free, and so by the end of it, they'll have 9 books that they can take home with them this fall. And they'll have a new friend, and maybe some mentorships happen through children's mentoring through all of this. And we're going to try to do it in the spring too. But just developing this love of reading for kids, I think, is going to be a really, really awesome opportunity, and really excited to see where all of this goes.
Yeah, we had a chance to preview some of the books.
Oh, it's great.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, I have some sitting in the office already. We already started getting them in. So.
Fun. Yep. Yes.
So that's what we know, right? That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, we're just, this isn't everything that we're doing, but.
No.
And all of this isn't to give ourselves a pat on the back or anything like that. We want to give opportunities for our church to be able to put their faith into action. All of these are places where our church can say, not only am I putting my faith into action, but doing it in such a way that it will make a measurable impact in our community, in the lives of others, that it will bring transformation. And, hopefully maybe some people show up at church and get to know Jesus and all of those things. But our main goal is really to just shine his light and to show love to our community in such a way that it is an expression of our faith, of who we are as a body of Christ, that even if people don't necessarily hear the specific gospel message from us, they see it lived out in us, and they say, I want to know a little bit more about that we're shining that light in that way.
I think it's really that faith in action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's something that I'm just so proud of this church and what we've been able to do together already. There's going to be more coming up at Christmas time that you'll hear about. We've already got more plans, so
We don't ever stop.
we're already we don't. We're excited to see what God's going to continue to do here. We have a God that does far more than we could ever ask or imagine. Our dreams are small and silly compared to God's dreams, and so we're just excited to see where it goes.
It's great. You know what? God keeps showing up. Our congregation keeps showing up. And we're just doing great things in the world, and we're bringing Jesus to a way that people can see it and can feel it.
Yeah. So if there's anything that you heard about today that you're like, I didn't even know that we did that, I'd love to be involved in that. Would you give Kelly or I a call
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
an email or Morse code, whatever you got to do to get a hold of us? Smoke signals. Find a way to get a hold of us. My hope is, and this is a whole other podcast, but my hope is that everybody has at least one thing they're involved in outside of just Sunday morning. That they're able to find. This is also not just a way for you to serve, it's a way for you to find some community. And the churches, you're not getting everything out of the church if you aren't also finding some community in it. So it's about more than just coming and hearing a sermon and singing some songs. And it's about developing that relationship with Christ and with one another. And so I want to help you to be able to do that. So I'll stop now before I roll into a whole other topic and a whole other podcast. So
I'm tired. Are you tired?
I'm full of the energy of the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
Kelly. I'm doing great. And caffeine. I've got some coffee in me.
I mean, I'm momentarily tired, but I'm getting my fourth wind. I'm good to go.
Let's do it. Hope to see you this weekend as we talk about putting our faith into action. And thanks for joining us on another Sermon Prep podcast.